Hi guys, it's Jen. First of all, I owe you guys a bunch of videos. I have a bunch of stuff that I need to update. I just couldn't make videos for a little while. But also I have gone over 500 subscribers, so I will be doing a giveaway. I think I'm going to do it for a gift card, but I think I want to follow the trend here on YouTube and have one entry for comments, but have another entry for some sort of crafty item share type thing. So I'll do a video about that probably this week sometime. But speaking of challenges, this is for Sherry at Scrappinnwrappin's challenge. Nothing like waiting to the last minute, I know. I've actually had this done for a while, but just didn't do the video until now. And in case you haven't heard yet, and you should have because some of the best people on YouTube have been making videos for this challenge, the challenge included using a 12 by 12 piece of white paper, outlining around the edges, inking the edges of your items, using 2 or more thickers fonts, layering, using only one photo, and having either flare or wood veneers on there. And I'm forgetting something. Oh, and sprinkling ink. So that's all on there. I'm going to give you an overview and then I'm going to show you some of the details. So this is just titled Twist Fair 2012, and the topic that you had to do was either the happiest or biggest moment of 2012 so far. And, you know, there's lots of things that have happened, hopefully for all of us, that have been pretty good things, but this was a big deal for me because this was my first craft fair, and that was exciting in itself, but then the fact that it convinced me that this is what I should be doing, that I really want to do more of these, that crafting, first of all, people will buy my stuff, which shocks me, and that it's just a great community to be part of. So that's why I chose this event, and I didn't do any journaling per se because I know that I'm going to do more pages about this topic in my album, so this was kind of just an overall, here it is, this is awesome, and the picture is of my table at the craft fair. So we'll start with the picture. For my title, and I'm apologizing now, I'm actually filming in my living room, so I don't have all of my supplies. I like to show you the supplies that I used when I used them, but as I said, I finished this a while ago, so please forgive me. So these are actually not thickers. These are basic gray letters that came in last month's Studio Calico kit, but both of these are thickers. I know these are the Dear Lizzie ones. I can't remember what those are. I was kind of going originally for an all white on white, tone on tone kind of thing, but I wanted Twist to stand out, and that red color is actually the color of the show. That's what all their stuff is in. The ink, okay, you can kind of see it, is actually silver Mr. Huey's, so it has some shine to it in person. I did it up there, and then I did some down in this corner. Up here on my top corner, I used a piece of this, which is actually the trim off of a piece of Tim & Beck paper. So it's just the bottom strip that had the information on it. And I used my tiny attacher to staple it on. This is half of one of my Martha Stewart punches. I think I showed that in a video. If not, I'll show it in my next video. And I just cut it in half, and of course I inked it. I inked all the edges of everything on here. And this is a crepe paper brad that I put through there. This is some Kath Kidson washi tape. These are from the Tim Holtz Chit Chat stickers, and it just says Genuine Living because that day and that whole experience was kind of like, oh, this is what I need to do. This is like the first thing I've done that I've really been proud of in a while, and I was really excited about. For my outlining on the page, I used my Pitt pen from Faber-Castell. These are the Studio Calico wood veneers, and I just made them yellow with some ink. So I did that. Let's see. Down here, this is a Seven Gypsies piece of ephemera, and it just says Random Thought, and I had thought about writing something there, but instead I stamped with some Ellie Edwards stamp that says, I used Days Like These Make, and the full stamp actually says Days Like These Make Me, but I just didn't ink up the me, and then I stamped memories, so Days Like These Make Memories. Let's see, oh, here's another one of those doily kind of cutouts, more of the washi tape that I showed before. This is more of that information piece, and you can see it looks like it's almost 12 inches here, but then I have some up at the top, and that's because this is actually cut. This only goes into about here and this to here, so that I could stretch it across the page like that. So that's always a good trick. This is from one of the Dear Lizzie Neapolitan papers. I just cut that out. One of the jars cut out from one of her papers, as well as some of the balloons from one of her papers, everything inked. This is actually a file folder with a tab from one of our Studio Calico kits, and I don't know if I can get it to focus. Kind of. This is a very tiny stamp that says This Life, and it's part of a longer Allie Edwards stamp, Technique Tuesday, that says, you know, this life, this story, this moment, something like that, but I just wanted This Life because it fit what I was doing. So I stamped that on there. Over in this corner, I have the other part of this. I just cut some of it off and put it there to carry the color across. This is from the Dear Lizzie paper, and it says 5, and I used the 2012 badge from our kit. And so it's 5/2012, which is May, and that's when this was, so I did that. Some of the Dear Lizzie vellum in the background, and I think you can see the texture of this paper is actually the Basil Swiss dots, because I thought rather than just plain white, it would give it some interest and add some texture. So that is my page. I really liked doing this challenge because it made me do a lot of things that aren't necessarily my go-to things, and I really liked doing them. I liked the layering and that kind of thing. I liked mixing up the thicker fonts. The ink splattering was a little tough for me. I'm a little bit of a control freak, and you can't quite control where it's going, but even that I like on here. So yeah, that's my entry. Thanks for having the contest, Sherry, and I am off to see what all of you have been doing and maybe even make a few more videos. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye, guys.